Now presenting Mr. Mike Coyne, Governor's Hurricane Conference board member representing the National Weather Service.
Good afternoon, everyone. Our next award is the Tropical Meteorology Award. It's presented to an individual or organization that has made outstanding or substantial contributions to the advancement and knowledge, application, or understanding of the hurricane forecasting and warning process in the state of Florida. Since 2004, Mr. Mike Boylan has been educating people about trends, model runs, and everything else tropical weather related through his website. He does not forecast, but his dedication and contributions to the citizens of Florida and providing tropical weather information in layman's terms, helping to explain what the forecast trends mean and how to follow all the extensive maps, charts, and graphs located on his website, Mike's weather page, aka SpaghettiModels.com. The 2021 Tropical Meteorology Award goes to Mike Boylan of Mike's weather page.
Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation. Well, there'll always be some haters, they don't understand. Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend Mike, he's your man. And he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide.
All right, everybody, what's up? Got me a hyperactive little Longo right now. I don't know how long he's gonna stand it, but we had Louie yesterday. We try to alternate the dogs. Longo was actually sleeping yesterday. So anyway, he wants to play so bad. He's definitely in the playing mood. A couple days ago, he was sleeping. Everybody's laughing because he wouldn't even open his eyes. So that's the way it goes. The many sides of Longo. So morning, everybody. We got a lot to talk about. A lot of rain to talk about. Nothing to get worried about. Nobody should be canceling any plans at this point. We got Invest 93 making the news. So I'm going to go over everything. I got a lot of good graphics to show you. I got a lot of maps and models, and we're going to talk about the impacts and what we're seeing out of this little system, and hopefully give you some good information along the way, as we always do. We're going to say hello for a few minutes, so if you want to get into it, you got time to go make a cup of coffee or go to the bathroom or take the doggy for a little walk. We'll be saying hello for a few minutes. Boy, you got a lot of yawns now. Oh, he's a good boy. So we had a big thunderstorm last night, and you did really good. Actually, Julie jumped one time, and the dog just sat there. So we trained you well. So everybody say hi to Longo. We might have to let him down because he's very hyper. I want him to go play with Louie. So there you go. Storm surge maps, nothing yet, Paul. I'm going to answer a few questions. Say hello. Storm surge maps will come out right now. No, because we don't have a system, so there's zero storm surge showing anywhere. We need low pressure and winds to create storm surge, and right now, most of the models are showing nothing. This is a very if we trust the models, we got zero to worry about as far as winds go. But I'm always cautious on any low pressure area in the Gulf of Mexico. Oh, I almost said it. The Gulf. I said that on Fox the other day too. I was like, oh God, I don't even know what to say. Oh, what's up, Mott's race team? What kind of racing do you do? Lee says hello, Longo. Debbie, what's that about? Look at that puppy. 0. Richard Reimer, what's up, James? Going to get some rain to Panama City today and tomorrow, mainly tomorrow and Thursday. Then it's gone. Thursday looks like the wet day, Peggy. Morning, Belize, Chandra. Hey, we got a little wave coming your way. I'm going to show you. Not marked by the NHC, but there is a healthy wave running kind of low. All right, we're going to go. We got to go. You're very hyper. All right, let's calm down. Let's say bye-bye one more time. Say bye-bye. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Okay. Louie and Hunter never gave Daddy kisses, so. Anyway, yeah, the Rays, we had a really cool home run derby last night. The Rays were sold. Julie, did you hear the Rays were sold? Yes. It made like zero news. I don't understand. I mean, it wasn't like breaking headlines like I thought. Crazy. Yeah, but long goes out. You're probably going to hear them growling here in a second because they're playing. But anyway, so we're streaming live on TikTok. Hello. We can't read comments over there. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and our MWP chat and X. So we're streaming on 4 platforms. So good morning, and we're going to talk tropics. Yes, Shelly brings up big shout out to my good friends at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. They've been supporters of our page now for over 6 years, and we got a cool commercial coming out. The MWP Colada and my sexy Hawaiian shirt. So we're looking forward to that. I'm sure the rain has got everybody shopping at ABC, as we've had a lot of rain here the last couple days, and I'm going to go over all that here in a second. Here's the water vapor map while we say a few more hellos. I just wanted to point that out. Dry air is yellow and orange. So we got a lot of moisture. We got some dry air pulling down into this thing here off of Florida, but a lot of moisture out ahead of it, so it's tricky. We got this blob in the middle Atlantic that's riding right below a big old plume of dust. I'm surprised it stayed together, but it's not marked by the NHC, but it's chugging along there. The ITCZ line is a little bit low, so ABC Islands, Lower Antilles. We'll see what this wave does, if you're wondering. It's pretty healthy, actually. We're kind of getting into wave season here once we get into the end of July into August. So we'll start focusing on that here. It's very normal this time of year to not have anything out here because of dusty, dry air. But morning, Kathy. Yeah, that's probably true, Mike. Plus, they're staying in Tampa, so I think I'm afraid the media loved the hype of them moving, and maybe it wasn't exciting that they might stay. I don't know. We will see. Julie brought me my coffee today, so it's an iced coffee morning from Dunkin'. Oh, William Strong Guy, a couple more minutes. Gus, you're going to get to meet Longo in person. We're going to be doing a meet and greet at ABC here, and we're going to have the dogs. You're going to be able to meet Louie and Longo as we release Spaghetti Model IPA, year number 2, the Hurricane Hunter edition, will be coming out soon, into August, September. So, all right, there's that. Let's see what else I got popped up here. This is current radar. Current radar. We got a lot of rain down in the Keys. Anybody down in the Keys? Got a big old swirl of weather pushing south your way. Man, that was an incredible day of rains and storms yesterday across Florida, man. It was unbelievable the amount of rain and heavy rain and storms we had. Invest 93 is actually making landfall right now. I'm going to show you, but there's some heavy rain attached. We've already had a spot there west of the Cape this morning that had over 5 inches of rain. We're going to have more of that today, but that's what it looks like. Spinning right there. We got a little spinner. And that's it, 40%. So, okay, enough arguing about the Gulf. You're in the Keys. Oh, you're not in the Keys. Everybody's still sleeping down in the Keys. Devol Street, right? 52 inches of rain already in Louisiana. Oh, my God, Gregory, that's not good news considering we got possibility of flooding rains that way coming soon. Brandon Lowe's from your hometown, Christy? Yeah, he's the man. I wish he'd get some hair, though. I don't know about that shiny head. Julie's down in the Keys. Cujo Keys. More Coco, Pamela. So, but they did not up our chances. It's still 40%. Models, I hope I've been clear. The spaghetti models sometimes look scary because you see all these lines, but those are low pressure center lines, and right now the modeling is not showing much, okay? So we go by the models, they're not showing much. We don't want to make anything up, because we don't have model support. Until we see a lot of model support on anything or a change, then yeah, we'll start raising the alarm a little bit. But right now, man, most of your models are showing this to be a weak low pressure area. So there are a few ensembles that are still showing it could be, possible low-end hurricane. Yeah, but, we got to go by the high-resolution H-Wharf, Haas, H-Mon, not showing anything. And those are the ones that I really, really, really believe in. So, man, it's hard to go against model majority. So that's what we're going to stick with, all right? We'll say always keep your eye on the tropics, but we're not going to make things up. That icon that I shared just to show everybody, hey, been a good model. It's weakened up a little bit too. So we got some dry air. I'm going to talk about the MJO. No one's mentioned the MJO, but we're in a suppressed air phase of the MJO right now, which typically can help prevent thunderstorm activity. So that's what we'll talk about. All right. So there we go. So I'm going to get into it. We'll say hello at the end. But I want to get right into all my weather goodies, okay? Because I got a lot of cool stuff up. Here we go. So there's that 40%. What does this whole orange thing mean? Well, it means that the system can develop anywhere in the orange, somewhere in the orange, right? Zach Bryan, or something in the orange, somewhere in the orange. All right, all you music buffs out there, is it something in the orange or some? I can't remember now. Something in the orange. Somebody will let me know. This is not a track. This is just an area that the low pressure could form into something, okay? That's basically what that means. 40% did not increase this morning at all. Here's latest spaghetti models on tropical tidbits. These are just came out, 12Z. Usually come out around 9 in the morning Eastern. Our system's right over the Cape right now and tracks solid through Florida. We're going to be wrapping in some moisture from the Gulf later today, so I'm going to show you the flood maps. But there you go. Pretty confident that this thing is going to have a day. Everybody always wants to know time. Remember, these things have time stamps on them, 24, 48 hours. So by tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, and by Thursday morning right there. That's kind of what that means. So a couple things to take away on this is one is time, okay? Not a lot of time. Pressures are above 1010 right now. They don't just drop over a snap of a finger, okay? So the one thing this does not have is time to try to develop, which is a good thing, right? People compare this to Sally. Sally was a sneaky little storm. So yeah, that's why we got to watch this thing last second. But one thing it doesn't have is time. Usually we need more time over water to lower those pressures. And this one will only have a day or so. So according to this, slow turn. Most of the time when tropical systems turn, they're reacting to upper level wind steering. And they usually slow down before the turn. So this is, 48 and then 72 is not that far ahead of 48. So it is going to linger. And that's the big problem that looks something confident is the rainfall. So that's what we're going to talk about. With the Wayne, I just did my best with the sound like Elmer Fudd there for a minute. Wacky Wabbit. All right, so there's the latest spaghetti models on tropicaltidbits.com. Latest intensity models hardly showing anything. So there you go. Now, these aren't always right, but, man, there is none showing anything, maybe tropical storms. So no models are expecting this thing to really rapidly intensify. So, that's facts right there. Good news if you don't want anything too strong, right? Rainfall today. Let's talk about impacts now. We've already had 5 inches of rain just on the other side of the Cape, and I pointed this out. So I circled the bottom graphic here. We've talked about this a lot over the years. Your NOAA blend of models are right here for rainfall today. And yeah, look at Big Bend down, middle part of the Everglades there. We could see 1 to 2 inches of rain, 2.8 in Tampa maybe. But these blended models are basically just showing you a general idea of who's going to get the rain and doesn't really show you isolated impacts. So you kind of got a feeling where the heavy rains are going to be today. Some we're going to get some won't. That's just the way the weather works. But I look at things like this HRRR and GFS and Euro too. They show these pockets of white and purple. And that white and purple is 6, 7, 10, 12. So I always look at these models to say, hey, the atmosphere is juicy, moist. So we're going to see isolated rains. Yesterday, Plant City had almost 12 inches of rain in Plant City. One little spot near Lakeland, 12 inches. I mean, you just don't know where these isolated rains are going to rain train. So the atmosphere can do it. You just don't know where it's going to do it. Oh, God, I just lost my Brew Crew microphone. Sorry about that. Your ears just popped, probably. So we don't know where the heavy rain's going to fall, but that's the general idea. All right. Here's what the low-level circle spin looks like, 850. There you go. That's if you were to say, where's the center of Invest 93? And by the way, they call it Invest because it's an investigative area. That's all. Not, every season starts at 90, 91, 92, goes to 99, then it resets back. There's no reason it's 93. The next system will be 94. Once it's pegged at Invest, and spaghetti models start to run and more modeling starts to run. So an Invest is just an investigative area of low pressure. And there you go. You can see clear spin. That's low-level spin and pretty darn clear, right? Low level is definitely not stacked over mid-level. Mid-level is still offshore. We have a lot of wind shear down from the north, and kind of, this is your jet stream. So that's kind of decoupling our system to where it can't really stack. So whereas our 500 millibar somewhere down here, and our 850 millibars way up here. So it's, definitely not stacked. That's why it's not organized yet, and the pressures are still kind of high. But that's where it's at. If you want to know, there you go. If you live north of the Cape, you can say that Invest 93 made landfall over your house. Here's current satellite. Get a little storm popping here over that Gulf Stream, and nothing organized. You can definitely see the spin. You can start to see that movement across the state. This is this morning's satellite. There you go. Not a lot of convection. You look for those deep reds. It's starting to get a little pop here right before landfall. So yeah, this is it. It won't develop over land, but once it plops out over here in the Gulf, then it's going to have a day and a half. We'll have to keep an eye on it. A lot of wind shear coming in from the north, but that's what it looks like. And your red, green, blue really showing up well. The lower level clouds are yellow, upper level clouds are white, and you can kind of see the upper level clouds trying to circle around the lower level. So yeah, not the best looking little system, but underneath it's not bad as far as organization goes. But you can really see these big clouds up top flying by. So upper level winds kind of blowing this thing to the west. Severe thunderstorms today. Look at this. We don't even have dark green today. That's a big difference from yesterday. Just very isolated thunderstorms today. So if you're worried about the big winds and thunderstorms like we had yesterday, it doesn't look like we're going to have as many as we did yesterday. Hey, good question. Why is it the Gulf Stream? Pretty much because it originates down in the Caribbean and goes around deep into the Gulf, comes back around the Keys, and I'm sure it was named the Gulf Stream because of the Keys. Good Jimmy Buffett song. Squalls out on the Gulf Stream. Big storm. Coming soon. Coriolis effect. What area is the Cape? Cape Canaveral right here. There you go. The Cape. Coriolis effect. 0G. Yep, that's why all systems like to go back north and northeast. Right? Is that what you're asking? Yeah, everybody's asked about surge. This thing really doesn't have the deep pressures and winds. It's not going to be pushing water towards the bay. I don't see any reason to worry about that. I wonder if the Sierra map even has anything yet. I forgot about the Sierra map. Sometimes the Sierra map has surge, but it's not showing anything. So your storm's going to be going away, pushing water, the other direction. So I don't see any surge to worry about for Tampa Bay. There's your storms. Hazard map, let's talk about this. So down the road, this is pretty much it. Heavy rain, 717, 718. A lot of people in the Panama asking questions. Destin asking questions. Really, this thing's going to be sliding by. You're going to have some rain Wednesday, Thursday, but obviously heavy rain, 717, 718. This is the area to watch, Mississippi and Louisiana. Obviously heat. It's summer, I know, but hot still. But that's what we're focused on. We're going to talk about the rain. Long-range rain outlooks are really starting to get a little high here for lower Louisiana. So this is what they're worried about. If you read the National Weather Service long-term forecast discussion, they're concerned because, 10 inches of rain in New Orleans is a lot of rain. So they don't know exactly if that's going to happen because you don't know if the system's going to develop. You don't know if it's going to go to the left, going to go to the right. If it goes to the right, it misses, but this is the thing we got to watch. And we're already seeing yellow popping up here. That's 10 inches. So we're going to see how this evolves with the rainfall. But that's definitely, make a point. Weaker tropical systems sometimes are bigger headlines than a windy hurricane. Tropical rains, we saw with Chantel. We saw the remnants of Barry in Texas. So Chantel had a lot of flooding in the Carolinas, North Carolina, from a weak tropical system. So here's your your excessive rain outlook. We got Thursday on the top, Friday on the bottom, and I told somebody, if you're listening, Saturday might be okay, but it's going to be tricky because if this thing lingers, then we might have rain into Saturday. So we have a flood map to watch. Really, for Friday, we got red now. So Thursday on top, this is your flood risk Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So that'll be what we're kind of keeping an eye on in the days ahead. So we talk a lot about pressures. One thing that this thing does not have is low pressure. It's only like 10, 12 maybe, 10, 14. It's, very high pressure. You got to have low pressure for any system to really try to start organizing. So one thing this does not have is low pressure. And that takes time. We don't get a big drop in pressure until we have a solid core of center winds and some sort of a structured low pressure area. So right now it's not there. So that's one thing that the models are not really showing this thing able to do is drop pressure in the Gulf. So remember, high pressure 10 and up usually is not a tropical system as far as a named system. Usually around 1,000. I always use it as a rule of thumb. 1,000 millibars, usually tropical storm. So low chances. We're going to go over all the models, but very, very few models are showing hardly anything. Okay, now these are on weathernerds.org. These are your ensembles. Now, the one thing that has changed is the European ensembles. At one time, we're not even showing this, and now they are. And, it's not really anything to get too worked up about, except, we do have a couple that are showing organizing at the last second. Okay, so that's obviously common sense. Some last second organization, which could be a hurricane. I mean, you gotta be realistic. I mean, 996, 991, 989, those are possible hurricane ranges, but that's not the majority of them. That's only a couple outliers, but just throwing it out there, Obviously, any system in the Gulf, the waters are 88, 89, 90 degrees up there. Very warm, warmer than normal. I know it doesn't feel cold, but it's warmer than normal. And 87, 88, 89 degrees can really spin up a system if it has some sort of a low pressure. So anyway, we're keeping an eye on that. Here's the latest track, so you get the idea. Timing, again, is always about the same. This would be Wednesday night, tomorrow night. So this thing's going to be somewhere here Wednesday night. Leaving the coast here. So basically by tomorrow, we're going to know if there's any chance of this thing becoming anything too strong. This is tomorrow. And, if we were to get a landfall, possibly, this is Thursday night. So it could be on approach Thursday night. And then here's Friday, early Friday right there. This is Friday morning, basically right there, Friday morning. There you go. Here's what Tropical Tidbits modeling looks like. This to kind of show you how none of our main operational runs are showing any development. Latest GFS, rains, this is Wednesday night. The latest Euro, a little blob of rain here going into Thursday morning. 10-12 pressure. Again, 10-12 pressure is not anything to write home about. There's 10-11 pressure, so there's that. Canadian showing blob here Thursday morning, and 10-12, 10-10 pressure, 10-11 pressure. It does linger a little bit into Friday night. Again, Saturday's a question mark where it's going to be. This is Saturday morning. And your icon, which was very aggressive, has backed off. That's twice this season it's done that. But it still shows 10-11 down there. This is Thursday morning. So I'm not too impressed with the icon this year as far as early season intensity. It sniffed out low pressure is really good. But there you go, 10-10. All right, so your models that I was more interested in yesterday are your main hurricane-specific models. This is a mess right here. 10-13, your H-Warp. These would really give you a good indication if we had anything brewing that was too strong to worry about. But there's 10-11. This is New Orleans area right here. 10-13. So you see the theme here. HMON, 10-14. So 10-13. I mean, there's just nothing. So I don't, Let's look at some rainfall here in a second. What the hell is this one doing? I don't even know. 1008, 1008, 1009. None of our high resolution models are showing any sort of anything to be concerned about as far as winds go. 1009. Now it could change. I'm saying we gotta. But by tomorrow, it's gonna be out here in the Gulf, and we're gonna know. We're gonna know what kind of structure it has. All right, so let's look at rainfall on some of these models. So let's take a look at the Euro. We'll look at all the Louisiana upper. We'll just go south. Well, let's go. Let's see. We can really zoom in on Louisiana. Maybe. Yeah, this is a good zoom. All right, so let's look at. Here's your European rainfall. This is what they're concerned about. They don't really know exactly where it's going to end up falling, but this is rainfall basically. End of the weekend, 2 inches. Not too bad, right? This is the Euro. Let's see, the GFS rainfall through the weekend is, very isolated. 2, 4, 4, 3. Very isolated. Got some pockets up here. So not too bad. A couple areas showing 5 inches. But again, 5 inches is a lot. This is, through Friday actually right here. So we could have, 5 inches. Model blend, a little more clearer picture. This is through Saturday morning, and there's your isolated 5-6 inches, possibly 3, 4, 5 inches, 4 inches. So that's a very good estimate there. There's Mississippi here on the right, a little bit into Alabama there, but there, big rains. So that's kind of what is the question mark. Let's see, National Weather Service forecast pretty much showing the same thing through Friday morning, 4 inches, 5 inches. There's a pocket though. This is what you got to worry about. See this little purple? That little purple gets up a little bit, then there you go. That's 10 inches right there. So that's kind of what they're worried about, is where this thing ends up going as far as that goes. So, let's see the icon, southeast. It keeps the bulk of it offshore. But yesterday it had that, so purple would be bad. That's about 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 inches up through Louisiana there. So that's just kind of what they're watching. You can go to National Weather Service office here and get the really good discussion here and what they're thinking. And long term, things could begin as early Wednesday night. Rain. A lot of PWAT, 2 inches above average, 2.5 inches of PWATs. Obviously, with widespread 2 to 5 inches, locally higher amounts, possibly 10 inches. And that could just be through Friday night. So that's kind of what they're worried about. So there's that. All right, so we established that. Here's some more European ensembles. This is kind of showing you a different way to look at it. And, there are a couple of them showing 988, 997. But you can see, boy, the euro is really right here for Thursday morning. And it pulls off to the north. Here's some more. Let's look at Euro AI. Haven't used these yet. They have been doing pretty good with this system. Let's take a look here. There's quite a few, not a lot, but there's 994, 994. I mean, it's Euro AI's got a few definitely named. But see, tomorrow morning, this is where we got to watch. This is going to be tomorrow right here. So from here over is where we got to pay attention to, and that would be probably about this time tomorrow. It should be somewhere about right here tomorrow. Big Bend area. So today will be very crucial for modeling and find out what this thing can do at the last second. So, and how many million questions did we get on your specific area? Because I can't do that. I appreciate it, but I can't. I would love to, but I like to show the overall pattern, the timing, what we can expect. Everything else falls into place. I know we have a lot of folks in the panhandle doing things. I think Wednesdays, let's look at 24-hour rainfall here. Let's just go straight to that, because I know a lot of people are curious. So here's your 24-hour rainfall. This is through today, and then there's a heavy rain through tonight. So this is rainfall Tuesday night to Wednesday night. And you can see the big blob goes by. This is Wednesday to Thursday. So this is Wednesday rains. Let's just do it this way. All right. Here's today's rains. Tuesday rains. Here's Wednesday rains. Very isolated. But then we get into Thursday rains, and there's that big blob now off to the west. So very isolated Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I think Friday, for my friends up here in the panhandle that are worried about rain, Kim, if you're watching, softball, nothing's really changed the last few days we talked about. Wednesday, Thursday are the wet days. Very random. You don't know when they're going to be there. Friday looks a whole lot better. Here's Friday rains. This is 0.2, 0.4. This is afternoon rains. You can't predict afternoon rains. And then here's Saturday rains. Does that make sense? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday there, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, and that makes sense. Big blob of rain slides by. So anyway, hope that helps. There's nothing else showing in the Caribbean, Lacey. I was, we're tracking this little wave out here in the Atlantic right here. This has been pretty healthy. Ian, if you're over there, I know I answered you this morning, buddy, but we were watching this yesterday. There's a big plume of dust to the north of it, but this has been staying pretty healthy right here. So I thought we might have even got a little circle. I don't know why we didn't, honestly, because if you look at the wind maps, it's got lower level, you could argue it's got the beginning stages of, trying to get a little spin here. This is your tropics convergence zone. Pretty fascinating, right? We show this a lot. The winds come up from the south, they come up from the north. We almost get like a little top effect here where the winds come down and come up, and guess what? We get a little bit of spin here. But that's what we got there. There's a lot of dry air, yes, but there's also, constant fire, convection. Now, I did want to talk about this real quick. So we are in this suppressed phase of the MJO. So, and history tells us that when we're in orange and yellow, it's less likely for storms to bubble up than we are when we're in blue. But we could see a little more favorable pattern here towards the end of the month, which would be next week. So if that wave hangs on, there's a chance maybe, next week, maybe. But this is the end of the month. So we're in a very suppressed phase of the MJO currently right now too. So that's another reason this little system might be having a hard time. Here's a Google AI model, which is fascinating. So now that we have an invest, Google AI, which I have linked right here, go to Mike's server page. I have it on the very top right here, Google AI. It's a new model right there, Google AI. It's right here. And there's your wind speed legends. And we have a couple that are actually 996 pressure, 1001 pressure, could be a storm. Here's another one, 993 pressure. A lot of them are staying in the 1,000 range, but this is going to be interesting to watch. The track is like we got one going over to Port Arthur. Longer time over water would give it more time to try to organize. So it's pretty clear all these models and maps are pretty darn close. And what's driving this is the high pressure to the north, which is going to steer our system that direction. So let's zoom in here a little bit more. So there's let's go to upper level, 500. And we'll go fast forward a little bit. So there's our high to the north, high pressure. Well, let's see if we can get a little better with the barbs here. Let me see if I can go over here. Let's zoom in here and fast forward to like tomorrow, let's say. This is more lower level. I forget how to pull up higher level. This is wind maps, but I thought there was a level here for winds. Altitude. Yeah, this really isn't showing what I wanted to show. But basically we got steering currents pushing this thing. Then eventually it's going to wrap up around this high and get pulled up north and go back that direction. So that's why it makes sense that this is happening. All right, so there's that. Moisture, let's look at the Euro. Look at the humidity levels. Will kind of give you an idea. We got some dry air spinning down into it. You can see that right here. Counterclockwise flow off of land will prevent a little bit of development in the short term, at least for sure. This gets out in the Gulf, it might create a little bubble of moisture. So, like I said, it's all tomorrow, man. Wednesday and tomorrow. We're going to know what this thing does tomorrow as we get closer to a Thursday type landfall here. So, not a lot of time. A lot of talk over hopefully nothing. Still a lot of dry air in the scene to the north. GFS showing a little bit more moisture coming up. There's some of these heavier rains. Purple's 3, 4, 5 inches. So, how you like that? It's not moving north, Olivia. So, key messages. Oh, by the way, where's my outlook for today? So here we got a flood outlook for today. We have Storm Prediction Center not showing much as far as storms across Florida today, but we do have this again today. Okay, low pressure's coming across. We're going to have storms coming in from the north again, so we could see flooding rains again today. We've already seen an area with 5 inches over there off the Cape. So expect some heavy downpours, kind of like yesterday. We just don't know when or where they're going to set up, but that general area there is going to see 1 to 2 with isolated, maybe double digits like we saw in Plant City yesterday. So that's the current rain map for today. That's the biggest impact today as our system crosses the state. So a lot of moisture in the air where PWAT values are high. Precipitable water map here. Let's take a look at that real quick. I always like to look at PWAT and all that good stuff. There's your moisture blob today. So that's some heavy. That's heavy. That's a lot. I didn't see that yet today. Usually red is about max. That's upwards of 3 inches precipitable water. That's why we're going to see some rain today. Okay, it's going to combine with daytime heating, and we're going to see a lot. That's those isolated HRRs that I showed you. Somewhere in that Big Bend down Okeechobee, we're going to see some heavy rain later today. So that's going to be interesting. I think somebody just said we got posted a flood watch just now. Let's see. Oh yeah, see. So now we got a flood watch posted for, and I'm sure this is going to extend over, but that just got posted. Flood watch. Got a flood. I don't know if it's a flood warning or advisory. I don't know what the hell that is. So yeah, flooding. Makes sense, right? So that's a rainfall map. There you go. This is deceiving. High amounts. Again, these are coverage averages, not isolated amounts that we could sometimes see more. And that's all I got. Alabama coast get a lot of rain, Brian. Yes, we could see some 3, 4 inches, 5 inches, possibly. That would be mainly Thursday-ish, maybe. Some into Friday. Ding dong. My phone's going ding dong. Oh, since we're talking about flooding so much, I want to do a shout out to my good friends Paul. Check out his video I did with Paul, and Tiger Dam has amazing products that they protect hospitals, power substations, schools, government buildings, but they also have a home kit, which a lot of y'all have purchased and love them a bunch. So I have a little video here how to put that together, and it's basically fighting water with water. And then when you're done, you drain it and put it away for next time. So we've had a lot of flooding in the news. So if you have any doorways, our pool yesterday, holy cow, we almost had a freaking flood in our back yellow room, we call it, because we had so much rain here in our back porch that it was on the dang door. So inland flooding is major part of storms, and when you have wind-driven floodwaters, it'll go into anything. So anyway, it's a good tool. Take a look at it. Always like to do a little shout out here for supporters of the page. So thank you guys. We'll be live tomorrow, Wednesday. I'll be tracking this thing all day today. Can I please elaborate how our weather is being manipulated? I'm not the person to ask. I do not know. I just report what I see, and I'm not the one to ask on any of that stuff. I'm just some redneck storm chaser without a degree. All right. Hey, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope you had some good information on this. I always try to provide as much as I can in simple terms and try to make some sense of everything. We'll be over on the MWP chat. If you want to do a little bit more and be part of our fan club Brew Crew, sign up over here. It's cheap, and you get access to MWP chat and mingle with some good folks like yourselves that love weather. It's just a little way that we give back for those that support the page. So, all right, we'll see you tomorrow and maybe later. I'll do a quickie little 90-second video.